Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj of the Everyday Fan Sports. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Ellyn Stoll, a graduate guard on the NJIT Highlanders women's basketball team. The Highlanders 14-14 this season, 9-8 in the America East, the 4th seed in the upcoming America East tournament, hosting the 5th seed UMass Lowell Riverhawks on Saturday at the NJIT Wellness and Events Center with a tip-off at 4 p.m. Ellyn, thank you so much again.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right. Congrats to you and the rest of the team. This is very exciting hosting, said your first ever playoff game at the WEC. Can you talk about the emotions? Before we came on the air, we were talking about senior day last week, but now to follow it up here this upcoming Saturday with a playoff game, it's got to be a lot of adrenaline pumping, basically through you guys right now.
Yeah, it feels great. This is something that we've dreamed about. My freshman year, obviously being in the ASUN, the competition was extremely high those first couple years. So going into the America East, we knew that something like this was in reach. So to have to be placed in preseason rankings as 8th in our conference, and to finish at the 4th seed with a home game, it feels really good, and that just goes to show how much we've grown from our first year in the America East to this year. So we're really excited about it.
Definitely. Yeah, to improve 10 wins, and then cut down on those losses in the conference. For going from 4-9 to 9-8, making those significant strides, that's got to be so rewarding to see how much you and the rest of the team worked so hard in the preseason, and then to see the results pay off here, during the regular season, Ellyn.
Absolutely. Like I said, it being our second year in the America East, it means a lot, and it goes to show that hard work really pays off. Just going back to our preseason, we had a really, really, really good preseason. We worked so hard. Our conditioning, we improved on our strength, just our overall connectivity on the court, off court. It really came together and has put us in a really good spot coming into this third part of the season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Fifth year coming back here, and with this group, a young group. There are a couple upperclassmen, but just the fact that just talk about the journey this season. I know so many ebbs and flows, and signature wins, over Wisconsin, Marquette. And then of course going through the America East conference schedule. Just talk about that, Ellyn.
That Wisconsin win was something that we'll never forget, and the game itself was just such a great team win. But the celebration afterwards is just something that we're going to tell our grandkids about. It was just such an amazing moment for the girls and for NJIT as a program. So that was great. And we've had a lot of, close games in the regular season that definitely prepared us for the close games that we've been able to pull out later into the second part of the season. But just like I said, we started off America East play really, really strong. We dropped a couple, but just being in the position that we are now, it just speaks to our growth just throughout this entire season.
Okay, before we came on the air, we're talking about senior day, how special it was. So you can tell everyone out there, just walk me through leading up to said senior day that week, and then of course the day of the game, pregame, I said before Hartford, Ellyn.
Well, it's really funny because around this time last year, we were talking about my senior day that I had after practice, not knowing that I was officially coming back yet. So to have a second senior day was even that much more special. Emotions were running high that day for me and for Sam and Maddie Martin and Kimmy. It was really great. All of our families were there, and it was just awesome. Our team decorated the lockers. We had streamers coming into the locker room. So our team made it super special. And then when I was walking out with my family, my sister from Austin, Texas, actually surprised me. It was funny because Lamar was taking photos of us, one of the guys on our media crew, and he knows that whenever we have like media day, I always want to see like the pictures and be like, does it look okay? Like, does my hair look okay? So he came up to me right after he shot the picture of my whole group of my family, and he showed me the photo, and I was like, oh, like that's such a cute photo. And then he pointed to my sister in the picture, and I was like, wait, what? And then I looked to my left, and I saw her, and I was like, oh my gosh! So she flew in all the way from Austin, Texas. So, I mean, that was such a surprise. She is like 5'3" maybe, so she's just so hard to spot out. I couldn't even see her in the WEC. So that was really special. I had one of my dad's childhood friends flying from Hawaii, so I had a lot of people there for me that day. So it was special, something I'll absolutely never forget.
That's wonderful. And you know what? The best part is, you know, we're returning to some sort of normalcy here with, you know, with the COVID-19 pandemic, to have fans in the stands, you know, family, friends, you know, say classmates. I mean, you know, other NJIT athletic programs. Just talk about that, you know, wave of support as well, Ellyn.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm really happy for our sophomores that were freshmen last year that didn't get to experience that. I think that I mean, it's a great part of the game, having people in the stands, hearing the crowds. You know, at UMass, we had some people barking in our ears from the stands, and it's all part of the game. So it's really great. And to have first time hosting a quarterfinal game at home, we're hoping that the turnout is good, because we haven't really experienced that in the WEC, at least on the women's side, having pretty much the whole WEC filled. It's a huge spot. So we're hoping that it's loud on Saturday.
You know, I've asked you this before, wearing that number 44 jersey, what that means, you know, is said to you personally, just, you know, especially this year now. I mean, on this final journey, I just had to ask you, you know, playing, of course, your home state, your own backyard. I mean, just talk about how good that has been, you know, for you, Ellyn.
It means a lot. I mean, you know, I had the opportunity to come back and wear it again. I know we've talked about this last year, putting it on for the last time last year at UMass. It's an emotional thing, and to put it on Saturday playing UMass again, with the chance that it might be the last time wearing that jersey, it definitely is an eye opener for sure. But being able to represent New Jersey and play in the state for 5 years has been a lot of fun. And having the WEC and having fans and having my family and prior coaches and prior teammates and everybody so close to come and see and support has also meant a lot. And it's been a lot of fun.
That's great. Okay, let's talk about this matchup against UMass Lowell. I said they knocked you guys out last year, playing for the third time in 17 days, I think it is here. You start the season series. You went up there 60-50 here at the WEC, 58-51. You, Ken Esquire, and Lizzie Litwinkle, all in double figures. I was talking to head coach Mike Lane yesterday. You guys were able to control the fast break, points off turnovers, points in the paint, I think was the real difference maker. Just talk about, again, you know, what the keys are going to be here again on Saturday in terms of, you know, coming out with that W and advancing.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we played UMass. I think it was like a Wednesday and then a Monday right afterwards. I believe that's what it was. So it was good to see them so quickly, but at the same time, we had to adjust from that first game to the second game. There were some little things that we switched up in our matchups and defensively, but we adjusted to those things very, very well and came out successful, which is great. So seeing them for a third time, we feel that obviously playing any team 3 times in a season, like you said, in 17 days, you're going to know them pretty well. So going over their stuff, we've been pretty confident in it. Seems like we know it like our own stuff. So we've just done a really good job of studying both those games, and hopefully it'll prepare us well for Saturday. So like you said, they knocked us out last year, so I'm excited to play
redemption,
them again.
right? Yeah, for this year. Now, Coach Lane informed me that they're going to be missing one of their important pieces of their lineup, in Juliana Sanchez, averaging 14 points, I think, per game. So that, you know, that is something, you know, that is an eye opener. But they do have other players that have stepped up and have produced. So I'm sure that you'll be, you know, as they're focused on again on those, you know, players, you know, during Saturday's game, Ellyn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it happens. It happened last year during COVID. It happened this year during COVID. You know, people are going to be out, and that's why everybody has, especially during these last 2 years, the next up mentality. I mean, everyone has had to be prepared for anything that could happen, injury, COVID protocols, things like that. So we're prepared for, you know, whoever they have in that starting lineup.
The team has been affected, said by injuries. That's been, something you guys have been have to adapt to and done it very well. Just talk about that, players coming off the bench, stepping up, said you've seen a number of them out, said Kimmy Evans, Trinity Williams has been out. I mean, a bunch of players have been out, but I wanted to ask you just, Kenneth Squire, Lizzie Litwinko, and you all averaging, double figures. Just talk about that, the three of you together, again, being able to produce night after night, that's gotta be just such a, awesome feeling, Ellyn.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like I've talked to you before, Lizzie and Ken are two of the most hardworking players that I've had the opportunity to play with. Always in the gym, Lizzie's in here in the gym an absurd amount of hours, and you can see that it's paying off. I mean, I love to play with those two. They're super crafty guards. They just have a really good basketball IQ, and they know what they can do, and they show up and they do it. So it's awesome to play with them, and they've been producing pretty well over the course of the season. So
talk about the depth of this bench. It's unbelievable, Ellyn. I mean, to know that they're a player. I mean, they probably could be starting anywhere else, but the fact that you have players that are so reliable, and especially the freshmen, the sophomores. I mean, just talk about that. That's got. I mean, once you guys come off the floor, the starters, and to have those players come off the bench, and again, offense, defense, they do it all. Just talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often that you come across a team that has a roster of 17 girls, and that's a product of injury and the extra COVID year and everything like that. So like I've talked about, you never know what's going to happen. We've had some injury on this team and some COVID things happen. So like I said, next player up mentality is the mentality that all of us have. Aria Myers has been coming off the bench and producing so well for us, offensively, defensively. Such a hustle player. She has an awesome pull-up game. She's been playing extremely well. Kiana Barrington's been coming in for Kimmy when she's been struggling with a little bit with her ankle. And she's just been doing really well. She's been doing a great job of, being in the post, has had a lot of big assignments with people like Denise Solis that were going up against UMass. She's done a really good job adjusting to all the changes that we've had in game plans against, players like her. So, a lot of people coming off the bench and giving us really, really good minutes. And it's what has to happen. Like I said, next player mentality. And we've been doing a really good job of having a lot of production off of our bench. So.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to ask you about head coach Mike Lane and this outstanding coaching staff. I said Sarah Mitchell, Tanya Watson, Erin Gratcha, just the job that they've done. I think they've done a phenomenal job this season, Ellyn.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was one of the beginning people here with Maddie Martin and Sam when the coaches came onto the staff, and I've had 4 years with them now, so we've all formed pretty good relationships with the coaches, and just to see the growth from when they first started to now. I mean, the win against Wisconsin, having a home quarterfinal game, tying the winning Division I record as of right now. Those three big accomplishments that we've done in this year, it, like I said, speaks to our growth and speaks to the dedication and the time that these coaches put in to put us in spots to get these achievements. So to have all these accomplishments in my last year is definitely fulfilling for sure.
We talked about it before. I mean, this administration, this athletic department is top notch. It really, I mean, you talk about the just a solid structure in place. Talk about it, Director of Basketball Operations, Anissa Sanchez, Director of Athletics, Lenny Kaplan, Dr. Joel Bloom, the president. I mean, just, there are more people that should be, also acknowledged, but just talk about that, how fulfilling that is. And just, to have that type of, again, support system in place, Ellyn.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I came here. obviously the WEC was a great selling point, but the people in the WEC that made all this happen, you know, Lenny, Peg, Dr. Bloom, they put all the student athletes in such an awesome spot to have so much opportunity now in our 4 years or 5 years at NJIT, but they prepare us for the next step, and that's really what it's all about. And Anissa is great. I mean, she has such an awesome voice and gets through to the girls so well. And she's just an awesome example of being just a positive leader. I mean, she every single day comes in with a smile on her face and is so positive and helps motivate us so well. So Anissa's great.
I don't want to leave out two other names because they probably will get upset. Is strength and conditioning coach Bobby Visk, and definitely Stephanie Polari, assistant athletic director for media relations and digital strategy. You know, another essential people, you know, to the success of this program.
Yeah, I've created really great relationships with both of them over the last 5 years. I mean, Steph is my girl. She's awesome. We have so many inside jokes by now, from Sun trips to media days, her making fun of me for fixing my hair before my pictures, things like that. And Bobby Fisk is awesome. Like we've talked about before, he's always, you know, like if we have a question for him, he'll like research it and like send us an email with all the information. Like it could be as small as like how much protein is in this protein shake and why there's so many calories, and he'll send us like a whole thing on it, or like have a whole explanation for us the next day. So those two, and just like we were talking about before, the staff, the administration, they just really want us to succeed, and they do a great job of, you know, supplying all of the things that we need for us to be in the best spot we can be. Yeah,
no, I agree. Hey, one of my final questions is that when we talked about before we came on there, being a student athlete, it's something that you've grown to accustom, you know, with, but just talk about, I mean, the challenges. I mean, even especially the last couple of years here with the COVID-19 pandemic and a lot of remote learning, but just describe this, you know, this process here.
I mean, especially at a school like NJIT, it's a very high academic school. I remember coming in freshman year and just having like the basic level 100 classes and like freaking out, like, oh my God, like I have 8 o'clock class and I have practice at 10. Like, am I allowed to come late? Just like things like that. And it's great to go through those experiences to appreciate them now. And Maddie and I are doing our online master's programs and just like seeing the freshmen like freak out about like little things. Like, just you wait till you get your
you can pass all that knowledge down to them.
Oh yeah. It's definitely an experience, and it's taught us so much. I mean, time management, you know, prioritizing, it's really awesome. And like I said, you don't realize that till you get to your senior year and your 5th year, when you're starting to look for jobs, and you have to prioritize like your actual life rather than just your practice schedule, your lift schedule, all those things. So it's great to get to this spot, and it's, like I said, it's funny to see like Trin and Reese starting out doing study hall and all this stuff, and I'm like, you guys got it. Like next year you'll be like, wow, like, okay, I got this down by now.
Exactly. Okay, we're gonna, as usual, we end the segment, you know, with you having the floor. Your message, of course, to Highlander Nation out there, you know, so locally and nationally. What's your message, you know, for this upcoming Saturday, March 5th at 4 p.m. against UMass Lowell in the America East tournament?
Like I said previously, UMass ended our season short last year, and we're hoping that we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again on this Saturday. And we're hoping that Highlander Nation shows up, and that we have a loud gym in the WEC on Saturday. So it will be a good one for sure.
Sounds good. Always, Ellyn, an incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you. Congrats on your success again at NJIT, both athletics and academically, and looking forward to seeing you and the rest of the team, you know, on Saturday afternoon at the WEC against UMass Lowell.
For sure. Thank you so much. Like I always say, we appreciate your coverage so much of NJIT. You do an awesome job, and hopefully we'll give you a good game to cover on Saturday.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ellyn.
Yep.